Boy, oh boy, oh boy, just another beautiful day when Trump's your president. We actually have a president. A good sweet case of look around and find out. Yes, indeed. Woo! Our president made the order. And we're going to get you. We're going to make an example out you, bud. We are going to make an example.
When you come out and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago. And our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it if we didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing, and you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela. So we took it out, and you'll get to see that after this meeting is over.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, what's going on, family? I hope everybody that's tuned in right now that you are blessed, well, and healthy, in good spirits, that you're having a great day, week, start to the month. What a time to be alive in 2025. President Trump is your president. I'll tell you that. What a time to be alive. Big things took place today, especially in big announcements in the Oval Office with President Trump. And this is great, coming off a lot of fake news, a lot of gaslighting and fear-mongering, lies, misinformation this past weekend. And even them saying that President Trump was dead. He passed away, you know. So we definitely want to start the show off with Trump responding to this, of the rumors of him passing away after he stepped away from the media for a couple of days, you know. But President Trump is working 24/7. He disappears for like one day. Everybody loses their mind, you know. And you know why? And they're holding Trump, putting so much pressure on Trump because of what we had previously in the White House. The previous administration didn't know who was running the country. Plugged the machine up into the wall. You know, they walk granddaddy around, let him go on vacation, let him sit in the sand, let him play with his little snow cone. Dr. Jill is running the cabinet meeting. The lady supposed to be at the border. She in the press conference room, then found the drink station, and she passed out drunk now. She supposed to be at the border. I tell you, a disgrace. Didn't know who was running the country, but now we know who's running the country. We actually have a president. Love or hate the man, you know, and majority of America voted for this. Majority of America love what President Trump is doing, and it's getting so real, and they love his, even the crime crackdown that's trending right now. People are saying, Trump, come to our state, come to our city, bring them. You know, the hell with these Democrats. People won't ever vote blue, vote Democrat again. You know, and I told y'all this after President Trump is done, and they saying Trump 2028. We say Trump 2028. Let him be the king. Let him be the king. Hell, you know, threat to democracy, unconstitutional, you know, unpresidential, you know. But let's jump into this. We got some big things going on. And even Trump taking down narco terrorists. This is, boy, Trump is not effing around. And this is what we voted for. But here's Trump responding on the rumors of him passing away. You know, oh boy.
Different, but about a big viral social media trend over the weekend. How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead? You see that?
No.
People didn't see it for a couple days. 1.3 million user engagements as of Saturday morning about your demise.
Really? I didn't see that. You know, I have heard, it's sort of crazy, but last week I did numerous news conferences, all successful. They went very well, like this is going very well.
We've seen the man work 20-hour days. And then we see him come down a flight of steps, tired. 20-hour days, y'all. And again, prayers for Trump. God bless President Trump. Prayers for his well-being, his safety, this administration. Prayers for America, man. You know, the man is working hard 24/7 for the American people and doing exactly what he said he was going to do and what he campaigned on.
And then I didn't do any for 2 days, and they said there must be something wrong with him. Biden wouldn't do them for months. You wouldn't see him.
Months.
And nobody ever said there was ever anything wrong with him.
We laugh, but it's true. We laugh. We really have a good laugh, you know, but it's true. And then when we did see Granddaddy, he didn't fell down. He can't read the teleprompter, you know. You know, I tell you, on week 1, the bombshell report released. They couldn't even meet with them. They canceled all the meetings. They canceled everything. On day 1, they plugged the auto pin up in the wall. Day 1 of his presidency. So we laugh, but it's truth.
And we know he wasn't in the greatest of shape. No, I heard that. I get reports. Now, you knew I did an interview that lasted for about an hour and a half with somebody, and everybody saw that was on one of your competitors. I did numerous shows and also did a number of truths, long truths, I think pretty poignant truths. No, I was very active over the weekend. They also knew I went out to visit some people at the club that I own pretty nearby on the Potomac River. And no, I've been very active actually over the weekend. I didn't hear that one. That's pretty serious stuff.
I'm glad it's
well, it's fake news. You know, it's just
news.
It's so fake. That's why the media has so little credibility. I knew they were saying, like, is he okay? How's he feeling? What's wrong? I said, I just left. And it's also sort of a longer weekend, you know, it's Labor Day weekend. So I would say a lot of people know I was very active this Labor Day. I had heard that, but I didn't hear it to that extent. Go ahead.
But I'll tell you, it's just a beautiful thing when you actually have a president, and he just doesn't stop. Trump just released a video of the U.S. military striking a drug boat from Venezuela headed to America carrying 11 Trinidad narco terrorists who were killed in the strike. You just can't make this up, man. Boy, check this out. Now, I believe we can't play the ending of it because it does show it, you know, but boy. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Whoop! That's what we voted for right here. This is what we voted for.
When you come out and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago. And our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it. We didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing, and you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela. So we took it out, and you'll get to see that after this meeting is over.
And here's Trump on the National Guard and the crime crackdown. And also he's headed to Chicago. We are not effing around. F around and find out. And I say walk that disgraceful Mohawk mayor out. That brother with that Mohawk. And that governor. The Pillsbury Doughboy. You know what I'm saying? The Burger King man. Walk his butt out.
Lined up on Chicago, though?
Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation. When we lose, when 20 people are killed over the last 2.5 weeks and 75 are shot with bullets. So let me tell you a little story about a place called D.C., District of Columbia, right here where we are. It's now a safe zone. We have no crime. It's in such great shape. You can go and actually walk with your children, your wife, your husband. You can walk right down the middle of the street. You're not going to be shot, Peter. You're safe. Everyone likes you anyway. They probably wouldn't do it. But it's so dangerous. And there are people in this audience you've suffered greatly. There are people in this audience that have been mugged and hurt badly, and they don't want to talk about it. Maybe you were very brave in talking about it. You made quite an impression on a lot of people. I appreciate it. But there were other people in this room that have been hurt very badly just walking down the street in D.C. Washington, D.C. is a safe zone right now. It's a safe city. The restaurants are open. They're booming. You can't get a restaurant. New restaurants are announcing that they're going to be open. This took place in 12 days. Now it's 15 days, but 3 days ago it became what's known as a safe zone. It's a safe city. And this city was really bad, really, really bad. We took 1,600 people out, hardcore criminals that will not be coming back anytime soon. And we're very proud of it. You know, to have our nation's capital lose every week, you know, it was like years, many years where every single week somebody was killed for many, many, many consecutive weeks. This went on for years. And then we had, last week it was announced that nobody was killed last week. And I made that announcement in front of a very distinguished leader of a country. And I'm saying proudly, ladies and gentlemen, nobody was killed in Washington, D.C. this week. He looked at me like, what's that all about? I say, yeah, we have a little bit of a crime problem. And we don't have a crime problem in Washington anymore. And the mayor has been very helpful. And the police commission has been very helpful. And it's been a great team. And I would love to have Governor Pritzker call me. I'd gain respect for him and say, we do have a problem. And we'd love you to send in the troops. Because you know what? The people, they have to be protected. I saw today on one of your networks, not a friendly network, except really the opposite, I would say, very unfriendly network. And they interviewed about 12 people on this morning. Most of them were African American, who were black. And they were saying, please, please, please let the president send in. These were people from Chicago. Please, we need help. We need help. We can't walk outside. We're petrified. If the governor of Illinois would call me up, I would love to do it. Now, we're going to do it anyway. We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country. And that includes Baltimore. I saw where Governor Moore was asking me to take a walk down the street of Baltimore. Well, Baltimore is a very unsafe place. It's rated number 4 in the city, one of the most unsafe places anywhere in the world. But, you know, we took care. This was a beautiful thing that happened in Washington because we showed that it could be done. And this wasn't just sending big, strong guys, and they are big and they are strong. You know, we had a great decision from the Supreme Court that had to do with sort of talent. It had to do with you are put down based on merit. You can hire based on merit. So merit for a soldier or for a policeman is strong, physically fit, having a certain ability, not a person that is woke and got the job through woke, but wasn't strong enough to lift a gun out of the holster, et cetera, et cetera. No, I looked at the police. As you know, last week I went over, we had a meeting there had to be 300 people, and they were all very impressive looking. And when the bad guys see them, they're not going to do a thing. And so I'm very proud of Washington. It serves as a template, and we're going to do it elsewhere. But Chicago is certainly going to be high. I would love to have him call. I would love the governor of Illinois. I'd be honored to take his call. All he has to do is say, sir, we need help. It's out of control. And everyone knows it is. He's not kidding anyone. I would love to have, I would say, Governor Moore call, because I watched him over the weekend trying to explain that Baltimore, what they need is housing. No, they don't need housing. They need to get rid of the criminals. These are hardcore criminals. You know, we took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals. frankly. They were born to be criminals, and they're tough and mean, and they'll cut your throat, and they won't even think about it the next day. They won't even remember that they did it. And we're not going to have those people. Washington, D.C. is now a safe zone. It's a safe place. And you can walk, Katie, you can walk right down the street with, by the way, one of the biggest human beings I've ever seen, which is her husband. He was a football player for like 11 years in the NFL. He's a big person. But big doesn't mean anything when they have guns and when they have knives and everything else that they have, right? But you can walk right down the street, even by yourself, and you're totally safe. Washington, D.C. is a great thing. Yes.
And check this out. We're just going to throw this in there. I think this was pretty amazing of what the White House just released of President Trump. Check it out.
Let me share some of the biggest lessons I've learned from a lifetime spent building dreams. First, if you think that you're too young to do something great, let me tell you that you are wrong. You're not too young. In America, with drive and ambition, young people can do anything. Second of all, and very importantly, you have to love what you do. I rarely see somebody that's successful that doesn't love what he or she does. Third thing is to think big. You know, you're going to do something, you might as well think big, because it's just as hard to solve a small problem as a big problem, and it's just as much energy and everything else, except the result is going to be a smaller one. So love what you do, but think big. Fourth is work hard. Work hard. Fifth is don't lose your momentum. You just want to keep it going, and you have to know if you are losing it, you have to know when you're losing it, so maybe you stop, and maybe it's time to stop. Number six, if you want to change the world, you have to have the courage to be an outsider. In other words, you have to take certain risks and do things a little bit differently. Otherwise, if that weren't the case, everybody would be successful. Number seven is to trust your instincts, common sense. You can go very far in life with common sense. Eighth, everybody should believe in the American dream. It's real, it's there, and it's right before you. Ninth, think of yourself as a winner. The power of positive thinking. In recent years, too many of our young people have really been taught to think of themselves as victims. But in America, we reject that idea that anyone is born a victim. Our heroes are the ones who take charge of their own destiny despite the odds. And next is to be an original. The old-time greats were people who had the confidence to be a little different. God only created one of you, so don't try to be someone else. Finally, and most importantly, never, ever give up. I've learned that perseverance is everything, so whatever happens, no matter where you are in life, stay optimistic and just keep pushing forward. Never let anyone tell you that something is impossible. Ever, ever, ever. In America, the impossible is what we all do best.
And we also want to get into another interesting thing that is blowing up all over the internet with President Trump and the White House and this whole window situation. And Trump, they said Trump debunks it and calls it AI. But yeah, it was objects were being tossed out of the White House window, you know. But he says those windows are sealed. So let's check this out. But here's the video. They said that this is AI.
Got another one? Let me see. Yeah, let's say another.
She's somebody just throwing something out the White House window.
Outhouse in the end. Oh, somebody there, right? Right now, right? Oh, there you go. You got it? You zoomed in?
But then there was reports that it was one of the contractors because they're doing a lot of renovating and new things at the White House. So it was a lot of reports. But this is what Trump said.
I know there's a video that is circulating online now of the White House where a window is open to the residents upstairs and somebody is throwing a big bag out the window. Have you seen this?
No, that's probably AI generated.
So
Actually, you can't open the windows. You know why? They're all heavily armored and bulletproof.
So that's a fake video.
Well, it's got to be, because I know every window up there. The last place I'd be doing it is that, because there's cameras all over the place, right? Including yours. No, but every window, I've never.
Y'all know the AI is getting very, very, very dangerous, and there's a lot of things being made and spread on President Trump. And of course, with all the things that have been trending lately with the Epstein and this and that, again, there's been so much fake AI videos surfacing through the internet, and then some are funny, some are, look like it could be real. The AI is getting very, very dangerous. And this is why I tell you guys, be careful. Be careful with the AI. And now that these scammers are getting all kind of things done with it, and how they're manipulating the system. They can change their voices and manipulate. It's crazy of what's going on now. And I just tell you guys, please be careful and trust your gut, because it's getting crazy. And in these next 5, 10, 20 years, people are in for a rude of awakening with this AI.
In a window that's, in fact, my wife was complaining about it the other day. She said, love to have a little fresh air come in, but you can't. They're bulletproof. And number one, they're sealed. And number two, each window weighs about 600 pounds. You have to be pretty strong to open them up. No, that has to be. Where was the window? Let me see.
Trump. I love how Trump was like, show it to me. I love this. I love that he's just, come on, just bring it up. Show it to me. And Peter's like, here, look at it.
Maybe from the renovations.
Which is the window?
But somebody in the back says maybe from the renovation, and that's what I said earlier, from the because they're doing a lot of renovating at the White House.
It looks like this is on the 15th Street side, I think. Yeah. So right here.
Yeah, those windows are sealed. Those windows they're all sealed. You can't open them.
Windows are sealed. It's debunked. They say Trump debunked it.
They do. And one of the problems we have with AI.
And then he goes on to talk about the problems that we have with AI, but Trump says they are sealed. Here's a report on it from Fox.
Let's go check in with our senior White House correspondent, Peter Doocy, who just asked President Trump a few questions from the Oval Office. And at one point, Peter went over to show the president a video of someone throwing a bag out the window at the White House, which the president said must be fake. He said you can't open those windows. So let's start there, Peter.
Yeah, and I just saw the still picture of it. We'll play the video in a second. But when I'm showing him something on the phone, it looks like I'm informing the president that there's like an incoming ICBM. I was not. This afternoon, though, a viral video surfaced on social media. It's getting a ton of pickup that appears to show one of the windows of the White House residence behind us on the second level open, and a man, we can't tell exactly who it is, throwing what looks like a trash bag out of it. So there are very, very few people in this country, in this world, who know the layout of the upstairs of the White House. And this is how we asked President Trump.
Maybe from the renovations.
Which is the window?
It looks like this is on the 15th Street side, I think. Yeah. So right here.
Yeah, those windows are sealed. Those windows are all sealed.
It's time bringing
real or not real. The president says that none of those windows open, so we'll find out where all of this goes. You also asked him to confirm that he's doing fine, and it is pretty laughable. He never ever takes a vacation, Peter, right?
Yeah, I mean, they said that President Trump was dead. He passed away. I'll tell you, man.
If he took the afternoon off and played golf a couple of times, that would really be the extent of the vacation that the president ever takes, right?
Right. And the reason that was of such interest, I got a ton of texts over the weekend from people who do not very closely follow the news, but we're seeing this social media trending topic that the president was dead or had died. He says that it's basically just because he took a short break and people are out to get him, whereas Biden took long breaks and never brought anything up like this. But we are happy to report that he is okay.
President Trump is okay, man. The man was out golfing with his granddaughter, But again, I told y'all, be ready. Be ready. They're going to continue to bring the pressure with President Trump. If the slightest things happen, if they see Trump scratching his head, I'm telling you, they're going to be ready to type something and post something about it. Be ready. And you know why? Especially of what we had in the previous administration. And we didn't know who was running the country. And President Trump knows, all these attacks. He know the fake news media, the enemy of the people. These Democrat, these leftists, they're going to say and post whatever. There's people wishing death on this man. People are completely deranged. Trump derangement syndrome in this country are at stages we've never seen before. But we want to send our prayers for President Trump, prayers for America, this administration. We're rooting for America. A lot of big things are happening. We actually have a president. We actually know who's running the country, whether you like it or not, But big things are happening. This was a great update. I'm glad I got in to cover all this. It's a lot going on. And every single day, I feel like every 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, there's something new, So we'll see what comes next. And we're going to continue to bring the best updates. If you are new here, join the family. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Let me know how y'all feel about everything. But boy, and Trump is right. The AI is getting very crazy. But we'll see what comes after the update on the follow-up on that report. Because at first I thought it was the renovations too as well. And I seen everybody posting about it. But it says Trump says those are sealed in AI. So we'll see what comes up from that. And big things are happening, man. Big things are happening. Big wins are taking place, and tons of people are asking President Trump to come to their city, come to their state for this crime crackdown, and people love what President Trump is doing. That goes to show you people love what President Trump is doing. To go 2 weeks without a homicide down there in D.C. I mean, man, everything has come down from crime, the carjackings, the robberies. I mean, man, you actually have a president who cares. And all the Democrats' messaging is anti-Trump. We must hate Trump. Unconstitutional. Unpresidential. The same gaslighting and fear-mongering. People are getting snatched off the streets. Getting kidnapped. Oh! The media, they just won't tell you the truth. They just won't tell you the truth. And that's why you see a lot of these things pick up on social media, because more people are tuned in on these platforms like this platform and X, and they say the hell with the fake news media. The media. They say the hell with the media. They've lost the people's trust. And Trump is right. Fake news. But I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your night. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, family.